High in the jagged spine of the American West, a cathedral of granite pierces the sky, challenging the very clouds that drift across the Wyoming horizon. 310,000 acres of raw, unyielding power, standing as a sentinel over the vast Greater Yellowstone ecosystem. Have you ever wondered why some landscapes feel alive, as if the ground itself is breathing under the weight of its own history? Why does this specific range of mountains, covering nearly 22 million acres of connected wilderness, command such deep, almost religious respect? Today, we are descending into the heart of Grand Teton National Park, a land where the rocks beneath your feet are 2,700 million years old. This is not just a destination for a weekend hike, but a living record of the Earth's most ancient secrets. If you are ready to witness the collision of beauty and danger, then stay with us, and do not forget to subscribe to help us bring more of these powerful stories to life. To understand the Tetons, you must first understand the silence of the deep past. Long before the first map was ever sketched on a piece of parchment, this land was a corridor of movement and survival. For over 11,000 years, Paleo-Indian hunter-gatherers moved through the valley known as Jackson Hole, following the rhythm of the seasons. They did not leave behind cities of stone, but they left something more profound, a trail of obsidian tools. These sharp, black glass remnants trace migration routes that elk herds still follow today, showing us that the patterns of life here are older than civilization itself. Can you imagine the discipline required to survive in a valley where the winter wind can freeze the breath in your lungs? The Shoshone people, often called the Sheep-Eaters, forged a spiritual bond with these peaks that we can barely comprehend today. To them, the Teton Range was not a playground, but a place of vision quests and higher power. They built stone enclosures on the highest summits, seeking clarity and strength in the thin air where the gods were said to reside. Yet, the march of progress is often deaf to the whispers of the past. By the year 1868, these original guardians were relocated to a reservation 100 miles away. A young, expanding nation claimed the land, and the ancient bond was severed by the stroke of a pen. History shifted gears as the pursuit of profit entered the mountains. In the winter of 1807 and 1808, a man named John Coulter became the first white man to witness the grandeur of the Teton Range. He was not looking for a view, and he was not looking for peace. He was looking for beaver pelts. This sparked 3 decades of fierce, bloody commercial rivalry between American and British fur companies. It was the French-speaking trappers, perhaps lonely and weary, who gave the peaks their enduring name, Les Trois Tetons. But the wealth of the mountains was not infinite. When the beaver trade collapsed around the year 1840, the mountain men vanished into the mist, leaving behind only names on a map. As the fur trade died, the era of the explorer began. From 1859 onward, government expeditions worked to tame the wild through the art of cartography. In the year 1872, a photographer named William Henry Jackson captured the Tetons on film for the first time. Those black and white images unveiled a majesty that words had failed to describe, drawing the eyes of a curious nation toward the west. Settlers followed, but they found a harsh reality. These were hardy homesteaders who tried to build cattle ranches on rocky soil that resisted the plow. They learned quickly that this valley was better suited for scenery than for agriculture. By the 1900s, a new kind of visitor began to arrive, the urban tourist. With the arrival of the automobile in the 1920s, old military roads were widened to accommodate the wheels of progress. Jagged ranches emerged, offering a sanitized version of the cowboy dream to people who had never slept under the stars. But with this popularity came a terrifying realization. If the valley were left to the whims of the market, the very beauty people came to see would be paved over and sold off. A battle was brewing, and it would not be a quiet one. The creation of the park we know today was an act of political warfare. In the year 1929, the park was established, but it was a hollow victory. It protected only the mountain peaks, leaving the valley floor vulnerable to development. This is where the story takes a Machiavellian turn. John D. Rockefeller Jr. began quietly buying up Jackson Hole land through a front company, intending to gift it back to the nation. When local residents found out, their fury was legendary. They saw it as a land grab by the elite, a betrayal of their independence. The conflict reached the highest levels of government. Congress repeatedly blocked the expansion of the park, siding with the local ranchers. But in the year 1943, President Franklin D. Roosevelt bypassed the legislative branch entirely. He declared the land a national monument by executive order, a move that sparked even more outrage. It took until the year 1950, following the softening of public opinion after World War II, for the monument and the park to merge. We must ask ourselves, is a beautiful end always justified by secretive means? While politicians fought over the borders, daredevils were fighting the gravity of the peaks. The first verified summit of Grand Teton occurred in 1898, claimed by William O. Owen. However, Native American structures found near the top suggest that someone had been there much earlier. In the 1930s, a man named Glenn Exum pioneered new routes, co-founding a guide service that still operates today. He changed the way we interact with the vertical world, transforming fear into a disciplined sport. By the late 1950s, the culture of climbing underwent a revolution. A gymnast named John Gill introduced the use of chalk at Jenny Lake, a simple change that allowed climbers to tackle surfaces once thought impossible. Today, the Teton Range is a climber's kingdom, with over 800 distinct routes charted across its canyon walls. But even with modern gear, the mountain remains the master. Every hold and every ledge is a reminder that in this high-altitude world, humans are only temporary guests. Beneath the dramatic summits, a complex web of life thrives in a delicate balance. Grand Teton hosts over 1,000 plant species and 61 different types of mammals. The reintroduction of gray wolves via Yellowstone has restored the full roster of native predators, bringing a wild harmony back to the landscape. When the wolves hunt, the elk move, and when the elk move, the willow groves recover. It is a masterpiece of interdependency that has been refined over thousands of years. Yet this ecosystem is under a pressure that we cannot always see with the naked eye. Threats are accumulating in the shadows of the pines. White pine blister rust and mountain pine beetles are currently devastating the whitebark pine, a keystone species that feeds the forest. Even more concerning are the invisible pollutants drifting in from regional agriculture. Rising levels of nitrogen, mercury, and pesticides are being found in the high-altitude snow and water. The landscape looks untouched, but the chemistry tells a different story. Can we truly call a place a wilderness if the very air and water carry the fingerprints of our industrial world? The management of this land is a constant negotiation between man and nature. For decades, we suppressed every wildfire, thinking we were protecting the forest. Now we understand that fire is a regenerative force, essential for species diversity and forest renewal. The parks, lakes, and rivers remain among the cleanest in Wyoming, but subtle shifts are being monitored with increasing anxiety. We must decide when to intervene and when to step back. How do we protect a living system without accidentally killing it through our own impulse to control it? Today, nearly 3 million visitors a year flock to these trails and marinas. They come to catch the rare Snake River fine-spotted cutthroat trout or to hike to the roaring spray of hidden falls. Mountaineers queue up for the iconic Owen Spalding route, seeking the same thrill that Owen felt over a century ago. The park provides visitor centers, lodges, and backcountry permits to manage the flow. But there is a paradox here. The more we love this place, the more we threaten to destroy the very solitude we seek. Grand Teton is a place of breathtaking beauty, but it is also a place of unforgiving tragedy. The land does not distinguish between a careful expert and a reckless amateur. Avalanches, lightning strikes, and rockfalls claim lives with a quiet, chilling regularity. Grizzly bears patrol the backcountry, reminding us that we are not at the top of the food chain here. Throughout its history, the park has seen homicides, mysterious disappearances, and sudden accidents. It is a reminder that nature is indifferent to our presence. It is beautiful, yes, but it is also lethal. What can we learn from the jagged peaks of the Tetons? Perhaps the most important lesson is that some things are worth more than our immediate desires. The history of this park is a story of long-term vision overcoming short-term greed. It teaches us that to preserve something truly great, we must be willing to sacrifice our ego and our need for control. In your own life, what are the peaks you are trying to protect? Are you looking at the small picture of today, or are you building something that will stand for 2 billion years? The story of Grand Teton is not finished. It is being written every day by the wind, the wolves, and the people who walk its trails. It is a testament to the fact that wilderness demands respect on its own terms, not ours. As you move forward through your week, remember the silence of Jackson Hole and the strength of the granite. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is simply stand still and listen to the world around you. What secrets would the mountains tell you if you finally stopped talking? Thank you for joining us on this journey through the ancient origins and modern struggles of one of America's greatest treasures. If this story moved you, please hit the like button and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever felt the humbling power of a mountain range or place that made you feel small in the best way possible? We want to hear your stories. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss another deep dive into the histories that shape our world.